Let's talk about something heavy: war. And how we, as parents, especially as dads, talk to our kids about it. It's not easy. It's one of those moments where voices need to carry more than just words. It carries reassurance, clarity, and responsibility. And the way we explain war to our kids, that shapes how we understand conflict, power, compassion, and even their own sense of safety in this world. So here's how I approach it. From a dad to a dad, or dad to anyone raising kids, with different strategies for kids, early, young, teens, teenagers. I'll also share what to avoid and what to be intentional about, because this isn't just about facts, it's about heart. For young kids ages like 5 through 9, at this age, your child's world is still small, safe, familiar. That's exactly how it should feel. So when they hear the word war or catch a scary image on TV or overhear something in the car, you don't ignore it, but you don't overwhelm them either. I say something like, sometimes grown-ups or groups of different people fight because they don't agree, and instead of talking, they choose to hurt each other. That's called war, and it's very sad. Avoid overloading them with details. No death counts, no violent scenes. Avoid showing images of screens that are meant for adult eyes. Even when they're curious, remember, their emotional filter is still under construction. Be intentional about the tone. I try to keep my voice calm but never dismissive. I want my kid to know that yes, war is serious, but they are safe. And if they feel scared, I'm here. The goal isn't to explain war perfectly. The goal is to show up with a steady energy and protect their innocence without leaving them confused. Here's what I would say for those in their early teens, about age 10, maybe 13. This is where the question gets real. Why are people fighting? Whose side are we on? Do kids die? They're no longer little, but they're not adults. So your job here is to stay honest and measured. I talk about reasons, land, power, fear, unfamiliar treatment, but I keep the language accessible. I say, war usually starts when people in power believe hurting others will help them get what they want, but it's never that simple. Avoid the traps of good guys versus bad guys. That's for cartoons. War is complex, and if we simplify it too much, we raise kids who don't question what they're told later. Be intentional about bringing in empathy. I always say, behind every headline is a family, just like ours. Someone's dad, someone's kid, someone's home. That's when they stop seeing war as far away and start seeing it as real. And if your kid wants to keep talking about it, let them. Don't change the subject. Give them a voice in it. For teens ages 14 to 18, maybe switch it up a little bit. Now you're not just the dad, you're a sounding board, a mirror, a fact checker, a person they've measured the world against. So be honest, speak plainly. War is about control. It's about resources. It's about fear. It's about cycles of retaliation. And most of the time, it costs way more than it solves. Avoid preaching. Teens smell that from a mile away. Also, avoid shaming them. Shame. If they seem disinterested or numb, sometimes it's not apathy, it's overwhelm. Be intentional about the connection. I try to bring in family stories if we have them, right? I ask what they've seen online, what they've heard in schools, what they feel. I don't jump in with corrections. I listen first because teens want respect, not lectures. And if they get angry or cynical, that's okay too. That means they care. Help them process it. Help them research. Help them ask, what now? Instead of just, why? As a dad, avoid using war as a teachable moment about obedience. This isn't the time for see what happens when people don't listen. Avoid turning it into a political rant. You may have opinions, but war is bigger than personal politics. Avoid shutting down emotions. If your kid is scared, says that makes sense. If they're confused, say me too. And avoid making war feel distant or abstract. It's over there somewhere because it's not our problem and we don't want that. That's not entirely true. Here's what to be intentional about. Be present. Put the phone down. Look them in the eye. Let them see your face. Be curious. Ask what they already think, not just what you want to believe. Be layered. Kids are capable of handling complex things if we stop treating them like they can't. Be vulnerable. Say, I don't know when you don't. Say, I wish it weren't like this, if that's true. And most of all, be loving. In the face of war, what your kid needs more than anything is to feel safe, heard, and valued. The truth is, war is hard to explain, but we do it anyway. Because if we want to raise kids who don't repeat the violence of history, we have to raise kids who understand it first. So whether your child is 6 or 16, show them that it's okay to ask, that you'll answer honestly, that you're not afraid of the hard conversations. Because being a dad doesn't mean having all the answers. It means showing up when the questions matter the most.